Like any other night, Maria had always been a light sleeper. After losing her husband James 3 months ago, the nights had become even harder to bear. The silence of the house, once filled with laughter and warmth, now seemed louder than ever. The creaking of the house, the hum of the refrigerator, the tick of the clock, all of it seemed amplified in the emptiness. She lay in bed one night, staring at the ceiling, unable to drift into sleep. The wind outside howled, but it wasn't enough to block out the strange feeling that something wasn't quite right. At exactly 2:32 a.m., Maria heard it, a soft whisper. Her name, Maria. Her breath caught in her throat. She froze, the hairs on the back of her neck standing up. The voice was clear, familiar, and yet it chilled her to the bone. It sounded exactly like James. She couldn't move. She was paralyzed with confusion, trying to understand what she had just heard. There was no way it couldn't be James. He had passed away, after all, but the voice, the way it called her name, it was unmistakable. She shook it off as a trick of her mind, a hallucination brought on by grief. After all, she'd been feeling the loss deeply for months. But the whispers didn't stop. They came every night. First, a whisper of her name. Then, soft footsteps that seemed to echo from the hallway outside her bedroom door. Maria. Every night, the same voice. Every night, the same chill. Maria decided she needed answers. She couldn't continue living in fear, haunted by the sound of a man she once loved. So, she did something she never thought she would. She set up a camera in the hallway, aimed directly at the door, hoping to catch whatever was making the noise. That night, she waited. The clock ticked. The wind howled again, but something felt different this time. Something was watching her. At 2:32 a.m., like clockwork, the whisper came. Maria. Her heart stopped. She rushed to check the camera footage. What she saw left her breathless. The footage was clear. There was no one standing in the hallway. Yet, the camera picked up something terrifying. The door creaked open just a crack, and a dark shadow passed by. But there was no physical body. The air itself seemed to move as though someone passed through it, and the whisper, the voice, came once again. This time, it was followed by a strange, faint figure that lingered in the shadows, too faint to make out. A presence without form. Maria's heart pounded as she watched in disbelief. How was this possible? Was it a trick of the camera? Or something more? The next day, she reached out to a paranormal investigator, desperate for answers. He arrived at her house and conducted a full investigation. After hours of scanning, testing, and listening to footage, he sat down with Maria, his face pale. There's something in your home, Maria. It's not a trick or a mistake. This house is connected to your husband. His presence is still here. But it's not him. It's something darker. The investigator explained that sometimes when people pass, they leave behind a residual energy, an echo of themselves that can sometimes manifest in strange ways. But this wasn't just a residual energy. This was something far more sinister. Something that had attached itself to the home, to her grief, to her memories. Maria was devastated. The thing she'd been hearing wasn't her husband's spirit. It was something that had used his voice to torment her. The investigator advised her leave the house, to find peace somewhere else. But Maria couldn't bear the thought of leaving the place where she had so many memories of James. Still, she knew something had to be done. After the investigator left, Maria stood by the window, staring into the dark. Then, she heard it again. This time, it wasn't a whisper. It was a loud bang from the hallway. And then, a deep voice, almost guttural, like it was mocking her. Maria, I'm still here. Terrified, Maria grabbed her phone, calling the investigator once more. But when the phone rang, it wasn't the investigator on the other end. It was James' old number. The phone rang twice before it disconnected. The line went dead. Maria ran out of the house that night. She didn't know where she was going, but she knew she couldn't stay there anymore. As she left, she could feel something watching her from the shadows of the house. Something that had worn her husband's voice, his memories, and his love to torment her, to trap her in a house of echoes. Maria never returned to that home. And to this day, the house still stands, abandoned. Sometimes, neighbors say they hear whispers, faint whispers calling out in the night, but no one answers. This is a story of a woman haunted by the voice of someone she once loved, only to discover the terrifying truth that her husband's memory was used against her. What do you think is still in the house? Could it be the ghost of her husband, or something far worse? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.